Hello, everyone. How are you all doing today? Um, so I thought that in this video I would share my collection of greatest hits albums from bands and artists that I have, whose discographies I may or may not I've checked out, but may not have copies of, and some that I haven't checked out the full discography, but I'm willing to do so. And if anyone else out there's got any great suggestions, I pull that out, and I am missing one that I didn't pull out. That I'm like, oh, I should have pulled that one out. There's a John Lennon greatest hits. My dad had one that was really cool, and this one's a little different, but it was really good, and I can't think of the name off the top of my head. I forgot. I should forgot to bring that out, and it was in my mind when I was going to do this, and then I brought out an Alice Cooper album that's not a greatest hits. That why did I bring that out? Whatever. Not paying no attention there. I just grabbed a bunch of them. Yeah, but anyway. Well, there's two artists I'm going to exclude. I'm going to exclude Kiss because I want to talk about bands other than them, and I don't really have. I have a couple from them, but they're not the ones I used to have, and I could have brought them out, but you know. And then the other artist is Weird Al Yankovic, which I will probably do a separate video on because I really do love his stuff. The dude's funny. But anyway, these are all ones I've bought over the years. Someone's given me. Um, but I think they're really cool. These bands are all great. First one, Van Halen, Best of Great Volume One. Right? Yeah, Van Halen Best of Volume One. So growing up, I always knew who Van Halen was. My parents had some of their albums. 1984. It's the only one I can remember. Maybe it was the only one they had, but when they were younger, I'm sure they've even told me they had the others. I mean, they love this band. It's a shame that Eddie died. Man, he's missed. He's such a great guitar player. And so, all of these albums are great for, if you've never listened to any of these bands, a great starting point. And now I've kind of moved on from this and I'm trying to actually listen to the albums, buy the albums. But, great introduction. There was no volume 2 of this, oddly enough. But it has, and it doesn't include covers that they did, especially the one that I really like, You Really Got Me. Not on here. Weird. Um, it starts with Eruption, Ain't Talking About Love, Run with the Devil, which are from the first album, Dance the Night Away, which is from Van Halen 2, and The Cradle of Rock, Unchained, Jump, Panama. Then moved to the, of course, Sammy Hagar era. But it ends with two songs they recorded just for this album with Sammy, Can't Get the Stuff No More, and Me Wise Magic. Or was one of these with one of these was with David? But you get this with it, then So if you've never listened to Van Halen, this is a great introduction. Of course, they have all of their albums, which I have on Spotify. Most. I've listened to most. Oh yeah, the first two Sammy ones. I forgot. My mom had those LPs when I was little. And of course, it gives you all the track listings. And of course, I have a copy of this one right here, Diver Down. Pretty neat how they did that. Yeah, the two songs. I'm pretty sure they did this with. Getting the stuff no more and Me Wise Magic. Oh, it was with David Lee Roth. They reunited with him to do that for this album. Wow. But yeah, what I would say, all of these are the essential hits. So definitely worth checking out. Next, and I've had this album since what, '07, I think. And I bought this in recent years. Styx has all of their hits, including my favorite, Lady. I've always, since I was a kid, have loved that song. It is such a great song. And I've started listening to their albums on Spotify and would like to continue to pick them up. Styx is a great Some people would say they're progressive. They're or I just look at them as regular rock, but they're good. Van Halen, of course, heavy metal. Bad for Good, the very best of the Scorpions, a band that my mom loved when I was a kid, and because of that, I like them now. And really, it's got so many good songs. Rock You Like a Hurricane, Loving You Sunday Morning, The Zoo, No One Like You, Blackout, Still Loving You, Big City Nights, Wind of Change, Tease Me, Please Me, Hit Between the Eyes. Such good songs. Scorpion's a great heavy metal band. If you haven't listened to them, check them out. This would be a great introduction to that band, which is a band that I need to start buying and listen to the albums from because I haven't done that yet. I need to do it. Now, these next two are kind of a go together, in my opinion, because my dad bought them on cassette when I was little. Um, but you have Queen, Greatest Hits, and Classic Queen. Um, so on this one, of course, you get songs like "We Will Rock You," "We Are the Champions," "No One Bites the Dust," "Killer Queen," "Somebody to Love," "Fat Bottom Girls," "Bicycle," "You're My Best Friend," "Crazy Little Thing Called Love," "Now I'm Here," "Play the Game," "Seven Seas of Rye," "Body Language," "Save Me," "Don't Stop Me Now," "Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy," and "I Want to Break Free." So most of this is like their earlier stuff. Um, this came out in '92, but I think it actually originally came out in the '80s. And Classic Queen is, definitely number '92, but yeah, I think this is like a reissue or something. I don't know. And this one has it's also it's more of a mixed bag than this one because this one no, it doesn't go in order. But most of the songs on here are from the '70s and there's from the '80s. I think most of the ones on here are from the '80s though. Um, at one and '90s, but you get Bohemian Rhapsody and I'm Going Slightly Mad, New Gaga, Show Must Go On, Keep Yourself Alive. Just freaking awesome song. One of the greatest freaking bands ever. There will never be another lead singer like Freddie Mercury. Just not gonna happen. He was one of a kind. He really was. And we lost him in '91, same day as Eric Carr from Kiss died. And around that same time, might have been the same day, my great grandfather died. This would be my grandma's father, who was Italian. His parents, I believe, were originally from Italy. So that's pretty cool, right? Of course, my last name is Irish because I get that from my grandfather because he was Irish, German, French. Anyway, some more '80s. There's another one I pulled out. I don't know why I pulled that out. Motley Crue, greatest hits. Poison, the very best of 20 Years of Rock. And I think they did they did a cover of One American Band, which was recorded just for this. Also includes a bonus DVD that has some of the music videos on it. Two great hair metal bands. My mom was big into this stuff. I love it. These are great introductions. And they, of course, this one includes what were at the time new songs, Saints of Los Angeles and Me. But they have all the essential hits. Right? And then, of course, the next one is Mothership, Led Zeppelin. This came out in '07. I bought it not long after, and it was they did a DVD. It was their first show together in a long time. They did, and so they put out a greatest hits album and 2 discs. Of course, got all. Obviously, Stairway to Heaven's on here and Kashmir, which are essential Led Zeppelin songs. Good Times, Bad Times, Communication Breakdown, Dazed and Confused, Ramble On, Immigrant Song, Black Dog, When the Levee Breaks, Song Remains the Same, Over the Hills and Far Away, Houses of the Holy, In the Evening, just great songs. And I have half of all their albums now. I've listened to them all. This is my third favorite band behind Kiss and the Beatles. More on that here in a bit. My sister got this next one for me on my birthday years ago. It wasn't my 30th. It was before that. Maybe it was 25th. I don't know. When did this come out? 98. Okay. Got it way later. Journey. Greatest Hits Live. And it was all taken from shows in the early 1980s. Has all the hits. Picked this up a few years ago. Genesis. Turn It On Again. Which has, of course, the song Turn It On Again. Invisible Touch. Lane of Confusion. I Can't Dance. Follow You, Follow Me. Abacab. I Know What I Like in Your Wardrobe. No Son of Mine. Tonight, Tonight, Tonight. Jesus, He Knows Me. That's All. Misunderstanding. Throw It All Away. Carpet Crawlers, which Carpet Crawlers on here. It's the Carpet Crawlers 1999. It's re-recorded with obviously Peter Gabriel. He had a couple songs on here, and I've been starting to get into this band now for a while. I mean, I've always liked the Phil Collins version because I kind of grew up with it, but I've been really getting into the Peter Gabriel Genesis, and boy, is it great! This is progressive rock at its finest. Future starts here. The Essential Doors, great '60s band, psychedelic, hippies. I mean, this music is so great. There's an edited version of the song at the end, but I like the original on the first album. Just such a great song. Jim Morrison, a poet, and it's a shame he died so young. Who knows what he'd be doing right now if he were still alive? He was still with us today. Interesting to think about. The very best of Electric Light Orchestra. My dad had an album like this. It was a great hits from them. I haven't really gotten into their catalog yet. I will. I'm working on it. But yeah, Mr. Blue Sky, Evil Woman, Don't Bring Me Down, Turn to Stone, Living Thing, Mama Bell, Rockaria, Strange Magic. I mean, what a great band. And I love how they mix classical with rock, all the instrumentation like violins and do they use horns? I'm pretty sure they do. All that kind of orchestral stuff. Rock with orchestral music is the greatest combination in the freaking world. Like, honestly, it is. And of course, the almighty Black Sabbath. We sold our soul for rock and roll. Originally came out in the 70s, 76. And so it doesn't have songs from the last two Ozzy albums before he left the band, but it does have songs from the albums before that. Of course, we know Ozzy returned for 13, which is the final Black Sabbath album, which is kind of a shame. I mean, Ozzy can't really play anymore. Dio's gone. But they still got Tony Martin, who I've only listened to like one album from him. I wasn't really into it. I know my brother-in-law likes it, but I forget what album it was. Tear? Was it? He loves it. I'll check it out again. But yeah, Black Sabbath, beginning of heavy metal, is one of the greatest freaking bands of all time. I'm sorry to say, but it's true. And finally, the Beatles 1. Now, this one I originally bought in the year 2000. And I listened to it so much, it got all kinds of scratched up and beat up. And then years later, I had to re-get it. Now, I had been listening to the Beatles for a while before this came out, like the anthology albums I would borrow from the library and listen to them. And that's when I really started getting into the Beatles. And I got this when it came out originally in 2000. It's all their number one hits. I'm gonna show you the booklet in here. It's pretty freaking cool. But yeah, obviously on the back of the booklet and this, but it has information about the songs and even shows you some of the LPs and stuff, which I think is pretty freaking cool. All the singles and stuff they've done, albums, and it tells you how long these songs were number one, what their B-sides. I think it says what their B-sides are. No. But yeah, like All You Need Is Love. July 7th, 1967, #1 for 3 weeks in the United Kingdom. In the US, July 17th, #1 for 1 week. And it really, I thought the Beatles had more #1s than 27. 27 tracks there are on here, I should have mentioned. And I just can't believe that that's all that they had. They should have included the B-sides in this. And then there is a deluxe edition that might have that and has music videos. I'm not sure. I know there's another edition of this that had come out. But second favorite band in the world. And of course, Kiss is my first. Recommendation for the Kiss would be Greatest Kiss. You Wanted the Best, You Got the Best, which came out when they reunited. Um, was that what it was called? Pretty sure that's what it's called. Which they ended up turning into a song from the Psycho Circus album. Pretty essential, I think. And my dad had all kinds of greatest hits on CD when I was a teenager, like Cat Stevens, Rush, Grand Funk Railroad, Tom Petty, and then all these cassettes. He had a whole box of cassettes with all these amazing bands in it. It's because of my parents that I love this stuff. All my musical taste is due to my parents. And I would say they've got great taste. But anyway, so yeah, those are what my greatest hits albums. I just wanted to show them off. I would say these are all essential. Get these, unless you, of course, listen to these bands, have heard these bands over and over, and you love them, and got their albums and stuff. I got a lot of greatest hits albums, and now I'm trying to get actual studio albums, live albums. Wow. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you all later.